Hello and welcome to whoever happened to stumble upon this video or come back to my channel. Hi, my name is Dana and welcome to my July 2021 plan with me. So first off, just a quick little flip through of June. June is not that many pages if you did not see this setup because it was just at the end of my old journal. I just posted a video of setting up my new journal, which I will be moving into right now. July is my first month in my new bullet journal. It is an Archer and Olive Into the Forest journal. I will have that linked down below. I do have a coupon code with them. I love their journals, so I will have that on the screen right now. But enough about that. Let's get into my actual setup. Alright, so in the month of July, actually like 2 days after I'm filming this voiceover and where I will be when this video goes up, I am going on a road trip with my boyfriend to the Smoky Mountains and to Shenandoah National Park. But this spread and this setup is inspired by the Smoky Mountains and like the Blue Ridge Mountains, and just whenever you see those pictures, you see like the beautiful blue like rolling hills in the background. So that is what I wanted to do for the setup. I was thinking kind of something hikey inspired, and this is what I came up with. So it was pretty simple to do, and I think really recreatable. I just used 5 different markers and shades of like teal and blue to draw out this mountainscape, and I think it came out really nice. I used markers from my Zebra fine liners, Crayola Super Tips, and Tombow dual brush pens, all of which will be linked down below. I really liked the beauty and simplicity of this design, and I hope you guys do too, because you will be seeing it a lot throughout this entire setup. And for almost all of the lettering in this setup, I used my Tombow Fudenosuke in black because I realized I actually had not done calligraphy in my bullet journal in so long. I kind of branched out and wanted to try different things, but I wanted to go back to it for this month. And for my quote page, I just wrote "Climb high" because I will be climbing lots of mountains this month, which I am super excited about. And then down on the bottom of the spread, I did basically a similar style of doodle to the one I did on the cover page. Every time I do this, it is a little bit different, you know, the way the mountains lay out, because when you look at pictures of mountains, that's really how they are. They're different every single time, which I think, you know, makes it easier for you to recreate them, and also just fun, a nice doodle that you can have some fun with, the shapes and different sizes. And I kind of switched up depending on, you know, how much space I have or what I'm feeling, but I alternate between using 5 colors and 4. So this one I kind of skipped out on that middle shade of blue because it's pretty similar to the darker blue. I just make it darker by adding more coats on it, which is really nice with this journal. You don't get any bleed through, even though I'm like really packing on the marker. But like I was saying, this one I just did 4 colors instead of 5.
Is that more?
And that is those 2 spreads finished. So moving on to my next one, I did a calendar, and this month I am back to my 2-page calendar. For June I did a 1-page, but that was just because I only had a couple pages left in that journal and I wanted to finish out the month of June there. But this one I'm back, I believe it is 7x7 calendar boxes with the weeks starting on Mondays, which is just how I typically do my calendars. As usual, I drew in my little YouTube stats tracker on the side, and this has been a little harder for me now because I've switched to uploading once a week instead of twice a week, just because, you know, time and finishing school and NCLEX and everything. So I haven't seen as much growth in my channel, but I do like tracking it, you know, month to month. Kind of helps to keep you motivated because you don't really notice the growth day to day unless you're having something like crazy exponential. But I will thank you guys, as always, for sticking around and watching my videos, hopefully liking, subscribing, commenting. It really means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. And as you guys see now, moving on, I'm just doing another similar mountainy style doodle on the top right under where I'm going to write July.
Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's pretty good.
Again, I really just had so much fun with these doodles. I feel like sometimes when you're doing something kind of complex, there's like a lot of pressure of, you know, wanting it to look perfect and every line to be exactly as it's supposed to be. And you don't really have that with a kind of doodle like this. You really just have some freedom to make these like free-flowing lines. And I think it'd be really fun and recreatable for anybody. You could also do this in different color schemes. I know the mountains I'm personally trying to recreate, you know, the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Smoky Mountains do look quite blue, but you could really use any different color scheme that fits for your journal. I know some people like to do more like gray, beige, maybe a brown, really anything I think would really look cute with this. And now to go along with my different mountain colors to label the days of the week, I kind of transitioned it along with my different colors, and I'm going to do the same type of thing for the actual days of the week. So the first line I did the light color, and because there were 5 lines, I was able to do each of my different, rows or weeks in different colors. Pretty simple, but that is my calendar spread finished. Moving on the left side here, I have my habit and mood tracker, and on the right is my spending tracker. I really enjoyed bringing my Tombow and my calligraphy back into it. I'm a little bit out of practice because I haven't done it in a couple months for my journal, but it was really fun to get back into it, and I think I'm going to be incorporating that more in future months. So back for my habit tracker, pretty much the same as it always is. This time I switched back to exercise, art, and stretching. I had switched it out last month to do NCLEX prep, but we are back to those 3. And for my mood tracker, this is the spread I always have the most fun with every month. I did this giant mountain range with 31 different peaks to color in each day as its own little mountain, which I'm pretty excited to see how that will turn out all colorful at the end of the month. For some labeling, I just took the smaller side of my dual brush pen and labeled my habits in that dark blue color. Then I went in and I usually do 5 different colors for 5 different moods. I had 5 different colors for this spread, so it worked out great that those would be my 5 colors for my mood tracker. Moving on over to the other side of the page, we're just starting off with some calligraphy at the top again for my title, writing out the word spending, and then I used the same black Tombow to write out cash and card. This spread again is not one that really changes too much month to month, just the doodles that change. So at the top, like my other spreads I've done so far, I added in my little mountain range again, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, other than just splitting it straight down the middle, because this is a spread that I like to have pretty open so I can write out all of my transactions throughout the month. Sometimes I fill it up all the way, sometimes I only have a couple lines, but I like to leave a lot of space to accommodate for whatever I'm going to need that month.
I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I can't let you hurt me again.
And with my mountain range all colored in, that is those 2 spreads finished. Moving on, I have my budgeting spread, and then on the right I have a new spread, but we will get to that one after my budget spread. Budget spread, again, pretty simple and very similar to how I fill out my spending spread. This one, budget split down the middle, and then at the bottom I leave some space to write the beginning and ending balance for my savings goals. But for the budget part itself, just split down for plan and actual, which I usually plan out my budget after I film, but I do have a video about how I do that if you guys are interested in that one. And then at the top of the page, again, same mountain range type doodle that I've been doing for my other spreads.
Is that more?
Alright, so now that we are kind of wrapping up on my mountain doodles on the left, I will explain to you guys my new spread I am implementing on the right, which I called my How You Feelin' spread. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to title it, but that's what I'm going with this month. So my mom has been telling me that it would be a good idea for me to kind of keep track of my symptoms. I do have a couple of chronic illnesses that I don't really talk about too much on here, but I wanted to keep track, of how much I'm sleeping, what supplements I'm taking, my symptoms, the weather, and how stressed I am day to day, to try and see if we can come up with, any information as to what affects how I'm feeling every day, because I feel like, it kind of seems pretty random to me right now, but we're hoping if, we keep an eye on it, we can figure it out. So basically everything is just abbreviated, not really because of privacy, but just because of room. So I plan on, filling in how many boxes for how many hours of sleep I got, and then just a box under each supplement or symptom, writing in a word for the weather, and marking for stress. I just did small, medium, and large because at that point I was out of room, so I couldn't really do like 1 to 10. So I'm going to test that out for this month, see how it goes for me, and then in the future, I guess next month, if I want to change it up, I can. Alright, and for my last spread of this setup, it is my first full week of July. So I brought back one of my favorite spreads to either do as a single or double page spread. This week is single because I usually do single weekly spreads over the summer, but that is the one where I do a circle in the middle with some sort of doodle either around it or within it. I feel like this is just a really fun way for me to implement doodles into my spreads. So for this one, I drew a big circle that has, the header on the top, and the bottom half is again my mountains. Another thing I thought was fun to implement kind of that color gradient again was starting at the top. As you guys see, I divided up the different sections using my colors and kind of went down from the top to the bottom gradient, starting with that lightest blue and ending down in the middle with black. Then from my circle and out to all of my different sections, I just labeled them again using my Tombow.
Is that more?
And lastly, I just brought back in my 5 colors again to write in the numbers for the days of the week, and that is basically the finishing touch on my first weekly spread of the month. Alright, so now it is time for our final flip through for the month of July. I really like how this came out. I think it was more simple than some doodles that I have done in the past, but I think, again, it's just really pretty. I'm someone who loves mountains and hiking and stuff, so I kind of liked the inspiration that this theme took. Also very excited for my trip that I'm upcoming. This kind of made me more excited doing this setup, but I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Comment down below what you think I should do for August. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you guys are not already, and I will see you in the next video.
What is it you want?